It's September 21st, and we have lots of severe weather that will be impacting a huge portion of the United States this week, along with hurricanes that will be developing in the Atlantic Ocean, among nice temperatures as well. Let's discuss what you need to know in the next 7 days when it comes to severe weather. First, we'll start off with our Hurricane Gabrielle, or soon to be Hurricane Gabrielle. It's about to strengthen a lot. There's a nice eye there, which means there's very little wind shear in the environment, which would get it to strengthen a lot over the next few days, and they are expecting it to become a Category 2 hurricane. The Storm Prediction Center has issued a slight risk of severe weather, along with two areas that there could be a 2% chance of tornadoes today, maybe an isolated tornado. We gotta be watching out for that, along with a large 5% wind risk and 5% hail threats with 15% there, which is driving the high risk for today. On Monday, there's two areas of slight risks for severe weather encompassing Oklahoma, Kansas, and this area encompassing Nebraska, Missouri, and Iowa, with a 2% tornado risk over here in Oklahoma, a 15% wind risk, which is driving that slight risk, and then 15% hail risks as well. So when we do see multi-day slight risks like this, especially in the fall, we can be seeing lots of areas of severe weather and supercells and stuff like that, because we do have fall chasing season coming up just around the corner. Severe weather season will be starting briefly, the fall season for that. So this is definitely going to be a multi-day stuff. We will be covering this almost every single day. And then on Tuesday, there is a marginal risk of severe weather, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this area, as they figure out exactly what's going to happen, that they'll issue a slight risk somewhere over here as well. And maybe even Wednesday and Thursday, we could see some severe weather somewhere in the Ohio Valley or Dixie Alley, or maybe even the Plains as well. So let's go take a look at what the models are saying is going to be happening over the next few days. Start with today over here in the Texas-Oklahoma area. We're seeing lots of little cellular storms, semi-discrete supercells over here making its way to Arkansas from Oklahoma, and then some more supercells over here just forming along that river in between Texas and Oklahoma. Those could possibly produce a tornado or two anywhere up here in that Arkansas region, or as it enters into Texas, that could produce some of that. So that's what we're seeing. And then lots of rainfall and showers today as well. In Iowa and Minnesota, we do have these storms that'll be forming over there in the southwest corner of Minnesota that will be tracking its way down to Iowa and possibly produce a isolated tornado, but I would think that that's very unfavorable. So this is a different model. It's called the NOM 3 kilometer, also known as the NOM Nest. And for Monday, tomorrow, we can see some isolated supercells over here in Oklahoma region is what it's showing that might produce a tornado, but that seems very unlikely. It doesn't seem a lot of other activity. We'll look at a couple other models here in a second. Closer up north, there seems to be a much greater risk of severe weather in general. We could see some line of storms over here in between Colorado and Kansas, along with a pretty intense line of storms somewhere in the east portion of Nebraska, maybe even the western portion of Iowa. And right here we can see a little bit of a line of thunderstorms as well. And any of these could have some embedded tornadoes with them as well, but that isn't super favorable with these line storms. So they would be brief spin up tornadoes if there was any. Now for Tuesday, we can see these storms will be tracking their way towards Arkansas and Texas, maybe even Tennessee, and we could see some more severe weather again somewhere in this area. We can't pinpoint exactly which areas could see the most favorable impacts for tornadoes and very large hail. We'd need more supercellular strength for that. But if we look at our Cape and shear parameters right here along Texas and Oklahoma, we do see the greatest amount of convective available potential energy, but there isn't a whole lot of Cape here. There's plenty enough to break some storms, but not to see any huge giant tornadoes. In our shear, we do have a decent amount of shear, 40 knots, which is just enough to get some nice tornadoes. So we could definitely be seeing a multi-day tornado event unfolding this week. Here on Wednesdays when we could see some more cellular structured storms down here in Dixie Alley, and then after that a little bit more uncertain on what's going to happen, but it does look like there will be a high pressure system building here in the north. Should not see very many storms over the United States after this for the foreseeable future. Talk about our hurricanes over here in the Atlantic. We'll first start with Gabrielle, so we can see it's going to make a very, very far approach from the U.S., and it's going to turn right back out to sea. But we do have this area to watch just off the Caribbean. The GFF is showing that there's a hurricane going to form this right along the Bahamas and then make a really close approach there along the coast. And if it does skirt up the coast like this, we could see impacts of storm surge, rip currents, and tropical storm force winds all the way from the Carolinas up towards Massachusetts. If it does unfold like that, we'll take a look at a couple other models here in a second. And then it is showing behind that another system forming in about the same area, but making a way more northerly trajectory, which shouldn't impact the U.S., but it is not 100% certain. If we look at an ensemble, which basically takes a whole bunch of scenarios and puts it all together, we can get a better idea of what's going to happen. So this doesn't really show any sort of development, which is quite odd. The GFS shows a pretty good development, but not a single one of these ensemble members shows a very favorable development. I mean, we see ensemble number 3 shows it, ensemble number 16, but that's it. So as it goes on to the future, we will be continually updating you. So like, subscribe, make sure you always check out all these forecasts, because we always like to discuss the tropics and entire United States with severe weather. It's going to be a pretty nice out, as we can see over here, encompassing basically all of the United States except for places like Texas and Louisiana and Arkansas. We're seeing upper and mid 70s for most of the country. And that's going to continue, but as this little cold front moves through, it is going to change our temperatures. So in places up here in the Midwest, could see temperatures as high 74, 76 over the next few days. So enjoy this nice cool weather as well. So we will be seeing lots of rainfall, especially over here in the Midwest and Dixie Alley region. So make sure you're watching out for excessive rainfall risks, like a slight or a moderate risk of excessive rainfall. And make sure you're always watching our videos, because we will always keep you up to date. The Information Center has issued a slight risk of excessive rainfall encompassing parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, and Missouri. So make sure you're watching out for any flash flood warnings today. And then on day 3, there is, in the same area, there's another slight risk of excessive rainfall. So we'll keep you updated on next video. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday.